Major stories of the Bible. The Bible is one continuous story, from the story of creation to the story of Jesus' future return at the end of time. And yet there are smaller, pivotal stories that make up the basic structure of the one big story. Number 1. Creation and God. Genesis 1 is the foundational chapter for the entire Bible. It not only tells us how everything started, but it establishes the basic teaching on who God is and who we are in relationship to Him. Instead of arguing about secondary issues like history and science, Genesis 1 should turn our eyes up toward the heavens, marveling at the majesty of God. Number 2. Creation and us. In the sixth day of creation we learn that people are the apex of creation, stamped with the image of God. This is the source of human dignity, and it is why we pursue spiritual growth, so we will look more like Him. Number 3. The Fall. Genesis 3 describes how Adam and Eve sinned, how their sin broke the relationship with God for them and for all people, and God's promise of a Redeemer. Number 4. The Flood. Genesis 6-9 is not a children's story. It shows God's anger against our sin, and yet also shows that He is a redeeming God. Like Noah, it challenges us to step out in faith. Number 5. Abraham's Covenant. Genesis 12 verse 1 to 15 verse 6 focuses on one man, Abraham, who is part of the fulfillment of the promise God made in the garden to redeem humanity. Abraham must do two things, believe, and act on the belief. When he does, God makes an eternal covenant with him and with all his descendants, Israel and the Church. We too must follow the pattern of our father, believe, and act on the belief. Number 6. Joseph. The story of Joseph in Genesis 37-50 is an account of God's faithfulness to His promises to Abraham, His omnipotence, all-powerful, and His omniscience, all-knowing. Joseph's brothers sold him into slavery, but God worked through their evil to accomplish good, the salvation of the entire nation of Abraham's descendants. We too are called to faith in God's promises. Number 7. Moses and the plagues. In Exodus 7 verse 14. Exodus 10, we read of God's salvation of the Israelite nation. The Egyptians had enslaved them, but through Moses God punished the Egyptians with 10 plagues and secured the Israelites' freedom. God is faithful to His promises, and all praise and honor go to Him. Number 8. The Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments, found in Exodus 20, are not rules to follow, but they give form and structure to how our love for God, the Shema, should manifest itself in how we treat God and others. Number 9. The presence of God. Moses wants to see God. Exodus 33 contains the account of how God could not let Moses see Him or Moses would have died, but He does allow Moses to see the back of His glory. This is the essence of Christianity, a desire to see God. After all, God created us to have fellowship with us. We were created for community with Him. Number 10. The holiness of God. Leviticus. The book of Leviticus is consumed with the holiness of God, that He is separate from all sin. The sacrificial system teaches us that sin violates God's rules, which extracts the high cost of death. But Leviticus also teaches us that God forgives, that a sacrifice can pay the penalty of our sin, if we repent, and in so doing prepares us for the cross of Jesus. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button for more videos of Bible verses.